finds. The opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Philippines, good evening. Maayong gabi sa Tibok, Mindanao, Visayas, ug sa Luzon. Ito po ang Republika. Ako, si Eric Espina. Nitong mga ilang araw, lumabas sa ilang mga pahayagan ang di umanong napipintong o nakakasang pagdating na ni Jose Maria Sison, ang kinikilalang pinuno po ng Communist Party of the Philippines at siyang masasabi rin nating ninong sa nagpapakilos sa New People's Army at sa ilalim dyan ang National Democratic Front. May katotohanan ba ito? Bakit siya uuwi? Ano ang kinalaman sa timing ng kanyang pag-uwi? Meron rin mga balita na ang mga New People's Army ay isasama na sa ating sandatahang lakas ng Pilipinas. Naglabas kaagad ng denial, of course, ang CPP na hindi daw totoo ito. Subalit, nagpapatuloy itong mga sources ng pahayagang ito na talagang merong diskusyon sa loob ng Armed Forces of the Philippines na posibleng may katotohanan nga talaga ang pag-uwi ni Joma Sison at itong posibleng pagpasok na ng NPA maging kabahagi ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. Ngayong gabi, ang ating mga panauhin, unang-una sa lahat, siya po ay dating naging Philippine Army Chief. Siya po ang conqueror ng Raja Muda. Siya rin po ngayon ang Chairman President ng AGFO. Walang iba kung hindi si Lieutenant General Raul Orgelio. Kasama rin po natin ang isang kongresista, dating rebelde, dating komunista, ngayon ay nagising sa katotohanan. Kasama na natin sa pagsulong sa demokrasya, walang iba kung hindi si ANAD Party List Congressman June Alcover. Good evening to both of you.
Good evening, Eric.
Okay.
And good evening to our viewers.
Okay. Congressman, sa tingin nyo, may katotohanan ba itong posibleng pagbalik ni Joma Sison?
May buntag, Eric.
Yes.
Para sa mga subuanon.
Okay.
Anyway, nakita ko ang plot. And I'm basing my analysis first on my experience with the Communist Party. Second, kung yung nangyari nga sa Nepal. Lahat na nakita ko ngayon na nangyari sa Pilipinas, parang pattern sa Nepal experience. It started with the peace talks. Then pagkatapos, nag-coalition yung mga so-called progressive political parties in Nepal with the Maoist and other communist parties. Did you win the election? Pagkatapos ng eleksyon, naging prime minister or naging speaker of the house ang grupo nila, represented by Prachanda, the chairman of the Maoist Communist Party in Nepal.
Okay.
Then pinilit ni Prachanda na ipasok yung Maoist rebel sa army. Doon nagkagulo.
Okay.
Nag-resist yung army sa Nepal. Na nagkagulo na, there was killings.
Okay.
Hanggang nag-resign yung army.
Okay.
So, sa ngayon, ang Maoist rebels ng Nepal na successfully nakapasok na sa army ng Nepal government, ng Nepal army.
May mga nagsasabi sa akin na yung nangyari sa Nepal was a laboratory na ang nagtumayong tagapagpayo ng kilusan ng komunismo doon sa Nepal ay si Joma Sison din.
Correct, because Joma is now considered as the father of Maoism. Siya ngayon kasi nawala na si Mao Zedong, and Mao Zedong is rejected in China. the Maoist ideologies related in China. But still, kumapit pa rin si Juma sa Maoist na ideology. At saka, tinitistingan nila yung paraan. Kasi ang Maoist line is more on encircling the city from the countryside using violence. But ngayon, ginawa nila sa Nepal yung eksperimento na yun. I think you are true on that.
So parang siya ang advisor dito
Siya
sa
ang advisor dyan.
At
So,
sinunod siya ngayon?
ngayon, nagsucceed eh.
Succeed sila, okay.
So ngayon, gusto niya i-implement dito
Sa Pilipinas?
sa Pilipinas. So, yun ang nakita kong posibilidad na babalik siya because he wants to ink with the, he wants to sign para bang a unification body ba
Okay.
na based on the three coalition party. Kasi in the Philippines, mayroong komunista na hindi Maoist.
Okay.
Like the Akbayan Party.
Okay.
Komunista pa rin ang Akbayan Party. Yung ngayon ang nandiyan sa Malacanang.
Okay.
Represented by Ronald Llamas.
Okay.
Sina Ita Rosales.
Okay.
Sina Risa Hontiveros.
Okay.
But di ka put up a strong political coalition without Makabayan. Makabayan is the Maoist party.
Okay.
Representing the Bayan Muna, the Gabriela, etc. Yung sa party
Migrante.
nila. Migrante, hindi nakapasok yung migrante.
Okay.
Pero kasama pa rin nila yan.
Okay.
So, ang mangyari, we have the Liberal Party.
Yung
and
Kabataan Party List, kasama din
kasama
nila
sa
yan?
Makabayan. The
Okay.
Kabataan
So,
Party,
Communist Front
the
itong
ACT.
itong
Ang
Kabataan?
Makabayan is a political party supported by the Maoist party list.
Okay.
So we have the ACT, the Kabataan, Bayan Muna, the Gabriela, and the Anak Pawis.
Ito yung tinatawag na affirmist
Ito yung affirmist.
na sumusuporta sa liderato ni Joma Sison.
Ito yung Akbayan, ito yung tinatawag na rejectionist.
Oh, ayaw nila.
Ayaw nila. But hindi nila pwede i-reject ang Makabayan,
Okay.
ang grupo. Kasi alam nila malakas to eh.
Okay.
So, ang Liberal Party ngayon, tinulungan ng Akbayan to
Okay.
balance the power sa so-called the progressive bloc.
Okay.
Tinulungan nila, that's why they are now consolidating the different small rebel groups like the RPABB.
Okay.
Like kay Hataman na grupo. Like sa Mindanao, kasi may RPABB din, may RHB. So, kinukonsolidate nila ngayon itong para to balance Makabayan. So, pagdating ng panahon, balance na ang Liberal Party in Malacanang with a strong Akbayan political party na equal na sa Makabayan. So, they can put up a strong parang coalition government.
Parang reconciliation
Parang,
government.
mag-away-away pa rin yan, Eric.
At the end.
Mag-away-away pa
Also at
rin
the
yan.
end,
But this is a temporary alliance para mag-grab na nila ang power.
Okay.
Kaya,
Tanungin ko lang si General, how do you see the return of Joma Sison? Will it augur to giving peace a better chance for the Philippines? Do you see reconciliation in his return? Or will it further destabilize the entire national picture?
Well, maybe we will start with Juma Sison, representing a discredited ideology. It is a failed, communism is a failed ideology. Although it's being practiced in China, but they are they are no longer in a so-called command economy. They are capitalists. So what are they representing for? So this is just the rumor that Juma will come back. I think they are just testing the waters first, whether it will be acceptable. And there is also some rumors being floated that he will be given a cabinet position.
Yes.
Ang masabi ko dyan ay para bang yung isang, alam mong hold-upper yan siya,
Okay.
ay ginawa mong manager ng iyong bangko. So there is no need for him to bring Armin because he's already inside the bank.
Okay.
So this is what will happen to us. There was never a time that you could trust the communist because there is yung sinasabi nga nila, 2 steps forward, 1 step backward. And communism was effectively dismantled in Russia. And they don't want to go back to that old system because it really was it made several people suffered. They could not also remove the communists now in China, but there are really a lot of suffering in China because of the rule of the Communist Party of China. While people there are enjoying a capitalist economy, it was the communist system allows them to have a monopoly of power. And this is the trend that the communists want to have, a monopoly of power. So this is going to be running counter to our democratic concept They will just be inching and creeping until such time that they will be able to get onto power, like what they are doing right now.
So sa tingin ninyo, it will not augur well for reconciliation, for the peace efforts of the government, for confidence building measures that Joma Season be allowed to return?
I think there will be nothing good that will happen if you allow Joma Season to return.
Not even for humanitarian reasons. Kasi may nagsasabi, he is sickly daw.
Well, I think he is enjoying the nightlife in the Netherlands, so maybe he continue. If he is sick, doon siya magpagaling.
And besides, I think he's no longer a Filipino citizen, is he? Is he a Dutch citizen like Halandoni?
Parang nagkuha natin sila.
Parang gano'n yata ang nangyayari, no?
Oo.
And then, how do you notice, sa tingin nyo, Congressman, may sakit ba siya? Matanda na siya? Or ano ba? Na tamang-tama itong timing na pag-uwi niya talaga dahil medyo very conducive for his return?
Sa akin naman, Eric, gaya lang ginawa nila ni Jimmy. May sakit si Jimmy. Pinakulong pa nila.
Okay.
I think yun din kung justisya ang gusto nating makuha. Yun din ang gagawin natin kay Juma. He has to answer all his mga pending charges. Like for example, may pending warrant of arrest siya sa Inopacan Massacre together with sa Toro Campo. Bakit hindi niya kailangan mo nang sagutin niya yun. No? Then tingnan natin kung anong mangyari sa kanya. Pero sa tingin ko, Eric, hindi peace ang mangyari, hindi kapayapaan ang dadalhin ni Juma pag he will be here. Kasi ang Maoist thinking kasi, peace can only be achieved after bloody revolution. Ganyan talaga ang thinking ng Maoista. Then it was defined by Mao Zedong that revolution is not a dinner party nor having a picnic. It is a violent overthrow of the system. So ang pagdating niya is just temporary peace. Just to have deception ito eh. May peace daw. But they will continue their plan of taking over the government. So possibly, yung nangyari sa Nepal nga, dahan-dahan, through legal means, through political struggle, pumasok sila, but still, nagagulo pa rin. Look what happened to Nepal. Nagagulo because they insist on yung Maoist rebels, they insist nila na i-part doon sa army. So nagkagulo. So that will happen in this country also. Kasi I don't think Juma is foolish enough, crazy enough to sign a peace agreement without getting something.
Okay, two quick questions. The timing of his return, if he returns this year or even later this year, that's the first.
Hindi ito timing. This is part of a plan creating a situation.
Okay.
Gumawa sila ng sitwasyon for Juma to come in.
Kasi
So itong panggugulo ngayon sa bansa, Eric, I don't think na kung ano ito, kagustuhan ito ng presidente.
So we should not welcome his return, is that what we're saying?
Kailangan i-reject natin yun. Kailangan kalabanin natin yun. Kasi
It's more dangerous for him to return to the country
kasi ang lalabas yan.
and make him face the consequences? Paano?
Kailangan people should know. We believe, people who believe in freedom and democracy should understand the struggle which the Communist Party is taking up now. Kasi without knowing the enemy, you can never win a single battle. Ang nangyari ngayon dito, Eric, the enemy is taking advantage of their influence in Malacanang.
Okay.
Then gagamitin yung mga legitimate issues. Ang kawawa yung mga tao kasi hindi nila alam how the communists are operating.
So ngayon, tatanungin ka, ano ba, Congressman, dapat natin? Kung yari, may hingi ng payo sa'yo. Pabalikin ba natin si Joma Season para mapanagot dun sa mga alleged crimes? Or wag na lang siya pabalikin dahil it's more dangerous for him to return? Which is a better equilibrium?
Ito nga, malalim ang wako dito eh. Hindi lang pabalikin. Kailangan i-expose ang network ni Juma ang gumagawa ng sitwasyon eh. So we have to expose the network of Juma. Ano yung network ni Juma? Yung party list nila, yung Makabayan Party, yung Bayan Muna, etc. etc.
Lahat yan kikilos.
Kailangan ito ang patalsik, kailangan ito ang i-reject ng tao. Once ma-reject ito ng tao, wala na silang source of income, source of power. Ang nangyari ngayon, epektibo yung NPA nila because they have already people in Congress. So sabi ko na nga,
In Congress only?
Binin Malacanang na nga eh. Pumasok na sila eh.
And in other government agencies, tingin mo?
Pumasok. Yung courage, pinasok na lahat.
Pati sa media, meron.
Not only in the media, even the military is being infiltrated by this courage.
Okay.
The Confederation of Union for Government Employees.
Oo.
So nakapasok kasi sa lahat ng institusyon.
Okay.
So ito ngayon ang problema because of the ignorance of our people. Madaling na-deceive.
Okay. General, threat assessment. Is he better if he comes back so that he can face the charges squarely? Sasabihin niya, I'm coming home to face the charges squarely. Or is he better off, wag ka na lang bumalik dahil masyado pang magulo, very unstable pa ang sitwasyon dito sa Pilipinas?
We will be creating more problem if we allow him to come back.
Okay.
So kung nandoon pa siya sa abroad,
Mabuti.
mabuti yun because maybe he will, kung siya ay totoong may sakit, they would like to come back here. He would like him to come back here, itong mga leftists, the communists. And maybe the last days of his life, makonsolidate nila itong struggle for power nila because maybe he can designate now a possible successor kung siya ay may sakit.
Paano ko sabihin ng Malacanang, well, this is part of our peace efforts and we want a final reconciliation with all forces and we will come up with a broad coalition. Ano tingin ninyo?
That is nga the deception that they will like to entice us to seduce the country na magkaroon daw ng peace and unification, which will never happen. There will be continuing effort of the Communist Party to gain more and more power. And finally, to have a monopoly of power. That is really what the communist organization would like to achieve.
Kayo po, ano tingin ninyo? Just in case, bumalik si Joma, tapos binigyan siya ng advisory position or cabinet position, how would you guys take it?
Yun ang sinasabi ko na itong isang bank holder, ikaw may-ari ng bangko, pinayagan mong maging manager ng iyong bangko, siguro you should
You're going to resist this?
I think that's not a good idea. Many might resist that idea.
Aha, pati din kayo. You'll definitely...
I would really object to that his return to the country and giving him a high position in government.
Our
Congressman.
party list,
Okay.
the ANAD party list will resist that. With the fact, I was interviewed on that matter. Sabi ko, kung ganyan man lang ang mangyari, na papasok ng komunista, including Juma, I think babalik ako sa bundok and I will join Palparan.
Aha.
Sabi ko,
Okay.
I will look for Palparan.
Baka maraming sumama sa inyo.
Tingnan natin.
Ah?
So yun ang mangyari. Mapilitan tayo magsakripisyo for the sake of democracy.
Congressman, you've been in the movement. Paint me a portrait in terms of propaganda. Days before Joma is about to arrive, on the day that he arrives on the tarmac, you can almost see the scenario. How will they create a scenario where andyan ang propaganda, andyan ang political pressure?
Ngayon
How will they think?
Ngayon, Eric, makita mo na ngayon na they're creating a scenario ngayon na magkagulo ang Pilipinas through impeachment. Sabi ko nga, itong impeachment na ito is a tip of the iceberg. Sinasakyan ito ngayon ng komunista or ginagamit ito ng komunista. Kasi may tatlong plano ito eh. Kapag hindi mag-impeach, hindi ma-impeach, ipa-resign. Kapag hindi mag-resign, then revolutionary situation. So, ang mangyari ngayon dito, guguluhin muna nila ito.
Kasi nagtataka din ako, kung yari nung kilusang magbubukit, di ba, ano yan, makakaliwa yan. They are pro-impeachment, and yet Renato Corona voted in favor of Hacienda Luisita.
That's right nga.
So, nalilito ako. Nalilito ako.
Itong propaganda eh. Kasi they have that master that art eh. Sabi ko, propaganda. So, mangyari nga, i-condition nila ang mind ng tao na magkagulo. Kapag magkagulo na, here comes Juma. Papasok si Juma, aliluya yung mga madre, mga pare, mga other religious group na part ng National Democratic Front. Magrarally ngayon yan.
Parang magkaroon ng katahimikan.
Juma,
Let's
welcome
embrace.
Juma.
Let's
Ikaw
all
yung
embrace.
you're a man of peace.
We're all Filipinos. Parang ganun ang dating.
So, ang dating doon, siya ang man of peace. Siya ang hero, ang lalabas, ang hero. Siya because he is being invited by the President of the Philippines.
Pero advisor lang daw naman siya. Hindi naman siya ang head ng ano daw.
Natural, but he will sign. Siya ang pipirma niya, definitely. It will not be Halanduni that will sign any peace agreement with the government. Lalabas na siya. Pag ma-plansa na lahat yan, lalabas na yan.
Explain mo nga sa akin, Congressman, bakit yung kilusang magbubukid, dapat masaya dahil bumoto si Corona na,
Correct.
diba, ipamigay yung Hacienda Luisita. Why are they for the impeachment?
Ito ang sitwasyon. While happy sana sila na
dapat.
Corona voted for in favor of the farmers sa Hacienda Luisita. Ngayon, ang Communist Party through Bayan Muna and other party list, including KMP as a front nila, sumama ngayon sa anti-corona rally. Okay. Ang nakita ko kasi dito, una is, kailangan ba intindihan natin na communism doesn't believe on land reform. There's no land reform in communist countries.
Okay.
There's no land reform in China, in Cuba, in Laos, etc. etc. Walang land reform. Gagamitin nila yung issue, a land reform to attract, to get the support of the farmers.
Sa Tagbisaya pa, dagiton lang ka.
Paon lang. So,
paon lang.
ilang isakripisyo ni ang farmers for a bigger propaganda mileage. Kasi, kapag ang nangyari ngayon, may anti-corona na impeachment. So, ang mangyari, ang kondisyon nga dito na pag ma-impeach si Corona, matatakot na yun yung mga ibang mga justices. So, sa ngayon, mayroon ng pending ngayong motion ang Kuangko, di Pamilio Aquino, na motion for reconsideration to reverse the decision of the Supreme Court.
Yes.
So, the possibility is, kung mawala si Corona, ma-reverse yung decision.
Tapos hinihingi ng grupo ng Hacienda Luisita na mag-inhibit si
Mag-inhibit si Corona
Chief
kung
Justice.
hindi siya ma-impeach.
Matutuwa ba ang mga kilusang magbubukit yan kung mag-inhibit
Magagalit yung mga
farmers doon?
Magagalit yung farmers.
Matutuwa ba yung kilusang magbubukit? Kasi nalilito na ako, saan ba talaga sila?
Natutuwa sila dito kasi they have succeeded in creating, sabi ko nga, situation
Okay.
na sila lang ang nakaintindi.
Okay.
Yung mga farmers magalit. Pag magalit yung mga farmers, palakpakan yung komunista.
Okay.
Kasi nakuha nila yung malaking mileage na
Okay.
sabihin nila, tingnan mo, yung demokrasya hindi mag-work sa Pilipinas yan. It started with the first people's power. People's power. Tingnan mo, sinabi nila, hindi mag-work yung demokrasya. Second people power, pinusuportahan pa rin nila. So in short, they're trying to prove to the Filipino people na we need another system.
Which is communism.
Which is communism.
But they cannot announce
Hindi
it
pa lang
openly.
nila ma-announce.
Openly.
That's why iparaan nila sa power sharing.
Okay.
That's why itong ginagawa ni Pinoy, this is practically a perfume na magagamit ng komunista na through power sharing, through coalition, then dahan-dahan magsabi sila ng National Democratic Government. Kasi hindi naman diretso sa komunista yan eh.
National
It will pass
Democratic
to a
Government.
National Democratic Government.
Nandyan lahat ng sektor.
Nandiyan natin ang sektor kuno na represented daw by all sectors.
Eventually, those that are unarmed are kicked out of the coalition.
Papatayin lahat.
Papatayin lahat, no?
yan. It happened in Nepal. Sabi ko na,
Parang kay Allende rin yan.
kay Linde, sa Cuba, kay Bayo Bautista,
Oo.
sa China. Look what happened. Tinarsik ni
And
Mao Zedong si Kuomintang.
And usually, yung mga socialist ang biktima ng hardline communist, ano?
Yan ang
Sila ang
mangyari.
pinapatay.
Ipapatay niya magsugod progressive daw.
Oo.
Mga supportive sa umpisa.
Oo.
Itong si Pinoy will become a victim. Yung sinasabi, he who rides with the tiger will be eaten by the tiger.
Okay.
So, after the National Democratic Government will be formed, dahan-dahan magsocialism sila.
Okay.
So, yun ang
Yun ang steps.
Yun ang pattern.
Okay. General, may mga balita na isa sa plano para magkaroon ng katahimikan, katulad ng MNLF formula. The MNLF fighters were integrated into the AFP. In fact, some of their generals were given some form of a commission by virtue of their appointment. So, by virtue of a presidential appointment, naging official sila ng AFP. How do you see that kind of formula working for the NPAs?
Parang mahirap paniwalaan yan with the communist movement. When I was the commander of the 6th Division, that was the time when we integrated the MNLF.
Okay.
And we were able to succeed in integrating them.
Okay.
We trained them in Alamada.
Okay.
We had a good training ground, and we were able to make them join the armed forces as regular forces.
Okay.
And in several instances, we fought together, especially in Pagalungan,
Okay.
fighting the MILF.
Okay.
Magkatabi kami noon.
Okay.
So I would say that lalo na yung grupo dyan, I can still recall,
Okay.
yung grupo dyan ni Commander Aladin dyan sa Matalam.
Okay.
We were together there.
Maasahan.
Maasahan.
Okay.
Because they saw the deception and the subterfuge na ginagawa ng MILF.
Okay, we're going to pause for a break. Precisely, you're saying that it worked. The integration of the MNLF with the AFP. Why won't it work with the NPA when Republica returns?
Iba kasi
Nagbabalik po Republika. Kausap natin si Congressman, Anad Congressman Jun Alcover at si Lieutenant General Raul Orgelio. Hanging question. If it worked with the MNLF, why won't it work with the NPA? NPA being integrated into the AFP.
Well, the ideology of the communist movement will go with the NPA. It is very difficult to work together with a group which has a different ideological outlook. We are we are oriented towards a democratic orientation, while the Communist Party is not oriented. Actually, it's just a subterfuge. It is just a disguise. Parang tinatago lang na they are for peace. That is what they're using. But it is really a way of going inside and infiltrating into the armed forces and the Philippine Army.
How will the ordinary Filipino soldier feel? And in fact, for that matter, the officers, how will they feel? And dagdag na natin, pati mga widows, yung mga veterano, how do you think they will feel?
Well, you start out with a group which are the sworn enemy of the state.
Okay.
Nanumpa sila to destroy us. And then you allow them to sit down side by side with you. You cannot be sure that once you turn your back, they will not hit you, stab you in the back. So there will be some sort of maybe reluctance on the armed forces to go out and operate against the sworn enemies of the state. They are already inside the foxhole. And so magkaroon ng confusion within the ranks.
Do you see any resistance? Do you see the morale of the armed forces going down? Do you see an internal debate, if not a conscience debate?
I think so, because the armed forces has been heavily indoctrinated on being an anti-communist force. And if you now let the communists work beside you, and we know that they cannot be trusted, so you cannot you will be fighting with a group whom you do not trust.
Especially if you make some of their commanders officers of the AFP.
Lalo na, they might create their own army inside the army.
Correct.
So you will make a stand against this, obviously.
I would say that that's not a very nice idea. We are going to destroy the armed forces and eventually allow the communists a free hand in dictating the operations of the armed forces, and eventually they will be able, starting from the power sharing to the monopoly power which they would like to accomplish.
Correct.
Congressman, kanina yung hanging question ko rin sa inyo. Paint me a portrait. Before dumating si Joma, pagbaba si aeroplano, can you hear already the headlines? Can you see the media coverage? Can you see all the propaganda spin masters within the CPP, NPA? How it's going to work overtime in order to create the arrival of Ayatollah Khomeini or
Yun ang nakita
a
ko,
spiritual
Eric.
leader?
Ang nakita ko dito, the National Democratic Forces, the NDF forces, that includes their front organizations, their party list, lahat-lahat, mobilizing mga simbahan, mga allies na nasa simbahan.
Mga madre.
Mga madre, mga pare. So yan, makikita mo ngayon yan. Parang dumating yung second coming, parang Diyos eh. Si Juma parang...
Second resurrection.
Parang ginoo nila eh. Parang Diyos nila yan eh.
Okay.
So ito na, Juma is the man of peace. He will be here to sign the peace agreement. So wala na tayong laban.
Is there now a modus vivendi between Akbayan and the Makabayan na...
Ito na mangyari. Na,
sabi daw nila may modus vivendi na raw.
Parang mangyari dito, yung sinasabi ko, yung three-party will form a strong coalition to support the revolutionary government na itayo nila. Kasi mangyari dito, magagulo na kasi, ang nakita ko ito magagulo, then Juma will come in. Pag magkagulo na, Juma will come in, siya ngayon ang mabigyan ng ang malaking role in establishing peace in this country. So magdemand na si Juma. Sabi ko nga, Juma is not crazy enough to sign a peace agreement without getting something.
Okay.
So, ang lalabas niyan, victory na nila sa kanila. They will claim nga victory na ng CPP yan.
His arrival, is that a signal of something graver that may happen? That means the timing, in short, the political atmosphere, the military atmosphere, augurs well for his return.
Pag may advisory na dating si Juma,
masama na yan.
magtago na ako.
Ganon.
Kapag may advisory na dito, yung grupo namin magtago na kasi alam namin matulapin.
They are saying that his return is timed with a political and military stalemate for 2015. Ganon daw ang tingin nila.
Yun na nga, ang mangyari dito, Eric, pag nandito na si Juma, that means yung gobyerno mismo allows the legal takeover of the left. That means hindi kaya ng ni Pinoy administration ang panggobyernong ito. So, Pinoy needs so-called progressive bloc in this country to help him in the so-called maintenance of peace. So, nandiyan na ngayon yung Akbayan Group. Nandiyan na sa Malacanang ang Akbayan eh. Ang Mamawi siguro sa pintuan pa lang, hindi pa nakapasok.
Okay.
But they have control over the majority in the House. Ang House ang kontrolado ng Makabayan Group.
Okay.
While ang Akbayan controls the Malacanang.
Okay.
So, hindi pwedeng i-lift out ng Akbayan ang Makabayan Group.
So
yung
there has to
Mawis.
be a wedding.
They have to be a wedding. Yung
Sino
ang
yung
coalition.
pare? Yung presidente?
Yes,
Ganon.
presidente. Tatlo sila
Ganun
ngayon.
ang
So,
magana.
three-party coalition.
They're going to form for the Senate siguro. Ganon ang mangyari.
I mean, in fact, itong si Laila de Lima, itong sila Dilis, itong sila Llamas, baka tatakbo ito ng sa Senado eh.
Not for anything, no, but I'm hearing stories that Justice Secretary de Lima is related to the movement in any way. Is that true? I'm in the dark of this.
Nag-enkwentro na kami ni de Lima one time sa isang hearing doon sa when she was still the CHR
Okay.
CHR chair.
Chairman, yeah. Chairperson.
Tinanong ko sa kanya, ako mismo natanong sa kanya before i-turn over ko yung document, yung Melissa Ruas case. Hindi siya naka-deny at saka hindi rin siya hindi niya confirm. But sabi niya, you mean to say that I am a communist? Pwede ko, sabi ko, Madam Chair, I didn't say that you're a communist. I was just asking question. What is your relationship with Juliet de Lima, the wife of Jose Maria Sison? You live in the same barangay in Iriga City in Camarines Sur. So, yun, napilitan siya. Napilitan siyang hindi siya nakatanggi.
Okay.
So, sabi niya, does it make me a communist if she is my relative?
She's my sister.
Hindi niya sister, relative niya.
Relative niya. Ano niya? Pinsan niya?
Pinsan daw niya.
Pinsan niya, okay.
Pero sabi niya, distant daw. Sabi niya, distant. Pero ba't delay bindis yung barangay?
Okay, very briefly. Totoo bang kwento, bago tayo magpunta kay General, totoo ba yung CMO budget ng AFP bababaan, yung Civil Military Operation?
Hindi lang bababaan. I-abolish talaga ang CMO.
Bakit?
Kasi nakita nila na
Effective.
hindi na this was the demand of Satoru Campo. Sa 14th Congress, Satoru Campo demanded for the abolishment of CMO and other units daw na gumagawa ng deception. Kasi ang CMO, para sa maintindihan ng mga masa, hindi ito fighting unit. Alam ito ni General. This is a unit that will talk to the people, explain to the people about the issue ng insurgency problem, etc.
Development, may mga development projects, mga okay.
Yun ang katakutan ng komunista.
Ayaw nila yun.
Ayaw, that's why ipa-abolish nila ito. So kung sinasabi mo, i-reduce yung budget, sa tingin ko, ang move ngayon is to abolish CMO this
So,
year.
i-abolish na?
I-abolish. May order eh. Sa DND na, i-abolish daw.
Okay.
Ang CMO to cut the budget.
What's the effect, General, if you cut or abolish the CMO budget of the AFP?
Well, when the CMO was, when we were doing the so-called SOT before, that was an idea created by the common soldiers to unveil the deception or the veil of the communists in the rural areas.
Okay.
So we were able to successfully open the veil and be able to
Explain to them.
to see where the NPAs are hiding. Kasi ito yung tagtatago ng armado eh. Tinatago ng armado through their United Front effort and because of our SOT through CMO, we were able now to explain to the people through this system that there is something inside the community na tinatago nila once that is exposed because it lives in secrecy.
Do you also explain the evils of communism in that SOT?
Yes,
Kasama
that's
din yan?
part of the
Gumagawa kayo ng mga latrines, mga pabahay, mga ganun, mga projects, kasama yan?
That's not really the effort. The effort is ako nga, I was asked by an officer from the US Embassy, will this work? Yes, of course, because maybe you failed to see this when you were in Vietnam, that what you are doing here is to destroy a relationship. which cannot be shot by bullets, di ba?
Yes,
Kung halimbawa tayo magkaibigan, tayo
Magkaibigan,
magkakumpare, we cut off that relationship of the cellular, secret cellular structure that the communists have created in the rural areas. Now, once that is exposed, it will show to us that the terroristic, that is the start of the terror aspect of communism in the rural areas.
So masama yung napipintong plano na yung CMO budget maalis sa AFP.
That will blind now the armed component of the armed forces. So he will be fighting in the dark. Hindi niya makikita yung kalaban.
Aha. And in short, this is good for the enemies of the state. This is what you're saying.
Yeah, because they give priority to that so that the fighting the armed component of the armed forces ay nakapikit ng mata. How will you now fight your enemy? You are blind.
Ito ngayon, this brings me back to the question. You were head of the Philippine Army. There are plans within the next 6 years to bring down the strength of the Philippine Army or in the AFP in the next 6 years. From 85 infantry battalions to 54, from 31 brigades to 18, from 10 divisions to 6 infantry divisions. Is that good or bad?
Well, let me cite my experience in Negros. I was the brigade commander there and we succeeded in dismantling the communist movement in Negros. So the solution of Secretary Alunan was to remove the army in Negros. Pinadala doon sa Maguindanao, the entire brigade. So there was a sort of a vacuum created at bumalik yung mga communist movement. So after 2 or 3 years, nandun na, malakas na naman
sila.
We lost by default. So this is what will happen in some areas. You will now remove the Philippine Army. It will now create a vacuum and the NPA will have a free hand.
Are these alarming numbers, General? I mean for the ordinary man, they might think, kasi ang sabi ng gobyerno, we're just streamlining the bureaucracy so that it will be effective, lean, and are these dangerous numbers?
That is really a dangerous figure because I'm just talking in my experience, we were just removing three battalions. How much more if you will reduce the Philippine Army by around 20 battalions? That's quite a danger. You are now endangering the security of the country.
Kasi they're saying hopefully within 6 years, peace will be restored. So you don't need to maintain a very large internal army because the budget will now be focused on the Palawan Theater. That's what I'm hearing. They're going to focus it on the Palawan Theater.
Well, I'm not familiar with the Palawan Theater, but I'm more familiar with what the communists will do. If there is a vacuum, they will have a free hand. There is no assurance that the communist movement will not expand once you remove the force that's going to stop them.
Congressman, pag mangyari ito, humina ang o kinat down yung bilang ng mga sundalo sa Army at sa Armed Forces. Ano ba yan? Mabuti ba yan para sa atin? Masama para sa atin?
In fact, Eric, to be frank with you, humina na talaga yung Armed Forces natin. Kasi sa umpisa, humina yung Armed Forces natin, yung pagkawala ng ROTC.
Okay.
Doon nag-umpisa yan eh. And that was practically a project of the Communist Party. Yung ROTC, ipa-abolish yung ROTC. Wala. Saan ka kukuha ngayon ng mga, yung parang pool mo of troops, of officers. So nangyari ngayon, pati yung mga reservists ngayon, mga barangay-barangay, naghagilap sila ngayon ng mga i-recruit nila to replace the people in the army na namatay or what. So humina na talaga. Ang quality ng army ngayon, iba kaysa noon. So yan ang gusto ng komunista. Ngayon, tanggalin nila ang CMO, tanggalin nila yung NADISCOM, tanggalan pa nila ng number yung combat troops. Wala na, that's the end. Ipasok pa nila yung army nila. Grabe yung senaryo. Makikita mo yung senaryo.
Tapos darating si Joma.
Darating si Joma. Yan ang senaryo na nakikita natin. Na talaga. That's victory on the part of the CPP-NP.
Ngayon, although, ang sinasabi naman, in fairness, sabi ng AFP daw, humina na raw ang NPA. Kasi humina ang number of NPA-initiated violence. I'm quoting here si Colonel Burgos, na in terms of 2010, sa 2010, 510 NPA atrocities lang. Sa 2011, 447. And then in terms of strength, from 4,384, ngayon they're down to 4,043. In terms of casualties, 2011, In 2011, 100 killed in action, and then in 2010, 184 lang. So, maganda daw kasi parang humina daw ang NPA. Is that a correct appreciation of the situation?
Eric, yun ang hindi magandang pakinggan sa isang spokesman ng military. Hindi niya alam kung ano-ano sinasabi niya eh. Kasi in the first place, itong ginawa ng kalaban natin, alam nila na hindi sila manalo maski maraming mga skirmishes, maraming encounters. Alam ng komunista yun eh. But the purpose of the communist, gusto nilang sirain ang ekonomiya natin. Maski isa, dalawa lang mga encounter, that will destroy our economy already. Because una, abroad, anong lalabas ngayon sa abroad? May gulo. Maski 10 encounter lang yan sa isang taon. Magulo na sa labas yan. So that will not attract investors, and it will not create a very favorable condition for our economy. Yan ang nangyari sa atin ngayon. Noong una, 1960s, 1970s, sikat ang Pilipinas ekonomiya. Pero ngayon, what happened? Hindi na nakabalik because of that problem. That's why sabi ko, nobody is telling the truth. That terrorism is the root cause of this poverty problem that we have now. Takot sila magsabi
Kasi
na
napunta lahat ng pera doon.
Ang terorismo, ang cause nito, ginugulo nila ang ekonomiya natin. So, maski isa, dalawa encounter lang isang buwan, magulo na.
Sagutin ka naman ng gobyerno. Inalis namin yung CMO. Inalis namin yung NADISCOM. Pero tinaasan naman namin yung CCT.
Lalo,
Yung conditional cash transfer para tulong sa mahihirap. Paano naman yan? Sige, paano natin sasagutin yun?
this is, sabi ko na, ito na talaga ang plot ng komunista eh.
Okay.
Itong CCT, ito ang controversial ngayon.
Okay.
Ang mga mayaman na nakatanggap pa nga yan eh.
Okay.
Naging sindikato na ngayon CCT.
Okay.
So, and I think they're preparing that for this coming election. So, wala yan sa programa na to establish peace in this country by giving CCT sa mahirap.
General, doon sa statistics that I mentioned, you're retired now, you have a broader perspective now, not just in military aspects. Which is the greater threat? The armed component of the CPP-NPA or the political component?
Well, the political component is more dangerous because it can dictate policies. And it can even dictate now the way how the armed forces will fight because they are now located in the high places of government. So the fighting procedure or maybe the fighting policies will be dictated by not by the armed forces leadership, but it is dictated by the NPA in a way. For example, you told us the armed forces said that the level of violence has gone down. That can be managed by the communists. They will if they will not expose themselves, they will just hide, build up their arsenal. But they are growing bigger and bigger. But there is no exposure, so there is no encounter. So that's going to mislead us that ay bumaba ang violence. That is not a measure of peace. Because there was a point when I was still we were monitoring this in some part of the country. Mayroon nagsabi na division commander, wala nang kalaban. We had no encounter for several months. Pero when we were listening to their radio communication, they were having around 1,500 transmission na naririnig. They were very busy in their radio network. Ginagamit pa nung araw yung tinatawag na ICOM. Imagine 1,500 a month radio communication. Wala ngang labanan. Because they were just consolidating.
Nagpapalakas sila.
They were building up their force.
Inamin ni Colonel Arnulfo Burgos ng AFP, the NPA generated 300 million extortion in 2011. 300 million. That's very effective. Is that a very effective?
Magkano isang Armalite? Magkano bala? So how many Armalites were made to buy that?
Ngayon sa amin, Eric, yung extortion activities ng NPA, umabot na sa mga sari-sari store. Nakatanggap na sila ngayon ng sulat from the NPA asking revolutionary taxation.
Ito ang itatanong ko sa inyo, no, with a few more minutes left. Ang parang focus ngayon ng ating Armed Forces of the Philippines sa kanilang conceptual operations, pagdating sa NPA daw, in deference to the peace process, sustained pressure lang ang gagamitin nila. Pagdating sa MILF, credible deterrence. Pagdating sa ASG, Abu Sayyaf Group at ang Jamaah Islamiyah, kailangan talunin, defeat. Hindi ba dapat yung tatlo, dapat defeat ito?
Yung mga termino na ginagamit nila, Eric, Sila lang, I don't know, kasi hindi ko naintindihan yan. Ang naintindihan ko, yung magsaysay doctrine.
Oo, okay.
Na fight them, find them. Defeat them. Yun lang. Lahat ng mga armed component na lalaban sa gobyerno.
Okay.
Bakit ganun yung treatment nila?
Okay.
May treatment
In deference daw to the peace process, to give peace a chance.
as para sa akin nga, I don't believe on the so-called peace talks eh. Use the magsaysay doctrine. Kasi kung kapag kalaban ka ng gobyerno, if you not surrender, I will go after you.
Okay.
Yun ang importante.
Okay.
Pag surrender ka, tutulungan ka to the fullest.
Okay.
Yun lang ang solusyon dyan eh.
General, sabi daw nila, to give peace a chance, tapos we cannot fight in several fronts. So, ganito muna ang ating conceptual operations. What do you think?
Well, ito na nga ang sinasabi ni Congressman. Going back to the Magsaysay effort. Have you heard of Magsaysay going on peace negotiation with the Hukbalahap? There was no peace negotiation with the Hukbalahap.
Okay.
And yet he was able to attain peace in a shorter period of time by running after the Hukbalahap. So in this process, parang it's now being dictated not by maybe by the National Security Council, but somebody else dictating how the armed forces should go out and launch its operation.
How about giving them money? Giving them money in order
Yun ang
to
sinasabi
train
nating-
their leadership to...
That is what we call the carrot and stick approach.
Okay.
Di ba? Pakainin ka dito, pag hindi ka wala, papaluin ka sa puwet.
Oo. Pero kung ito, habang lumalaban sila, kung bibigyan din sila ng pera para for their national leadership, katulad ng MIL.
You're giving bullet to the enemy.
Ha?
Para binigyan mo ng dagdag na bala yung kalaban mo para patayin ang mga sundalo natin.
You are cuddling the enemy.
Pero ito, may tanong ko sa inyo, General. Ano ang naging reaksyon nyo nung nalaman niyo na nagbigay ng pera sa MILF? Ito, maiba lang ang kwentuhan, no?
Well, there were so many people who were really worried on that. Kasi ako, I'm working for the veterans.
Okay.
At may sinabi na ang mga MNLF bibigyan this year ng 700 million.
Okay.
Ang naintindihan ko, ang budget ng Veterans Memorial Medical Center is only 500 million.
Okay. Oh my
Sobra.
God. Okay, and then?
So, mas malaking binibigay doon sa kabila kaysa ating mga veterano.
So, with 1 minute, anong gagawin nyo na ngayon?
Well, this is a political issue. So it has to be worked out. Katulad nila ni Congressman, na they're lucky they're now in Congress to work out, to see to it that maybe we will be able to do something in legislation.
Parang inaapakan natin yung mga tombstone ng ating mga sundalo sa libingan ng mga biyahero. Last 25 seconds.
Yan na nga, Eric. Ang sa amin naman, we were fighting the communists for the last 20 years. Yung grupo namin is mga anti-communist fighters.
Of course.
Pero wala kaming natanggap na maski isang sintabo sa gobyerno.
Kahit singkong galing.
Yun lang masakit sa puwan namin ngayon. Yun lang. Okay. I hope this government will listen to us.
Okay. Well, that's the final word for tonight. Kaya, naku, napakasalimuot po itong usapin na ito, pero kailangan pag-usapan po para mapaghandaan. To be prepared is to be vigilant is to be free. At ito po si Eric Espina, palagi po nagsasabi sa inyo, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat manindigan. Sapagkat wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, maayong gabi kaninyong tanan.